Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So in this video series, I'm going to do a series of comparisons to help you understand why I'm chosen and no one else is. Okay, it's not about being cocky or arrogant. It's about clarifying, especially as they're changing the sound of my voice, my speech patterns, and changing my look in all of my videos, including all of my old videos. So the first comparison is me, the top martial artist ever, versus Borat, who's supposed to be a representative of the vast majority of Israeli intelligent agents. And it's almost like skinheads made the character, because the last part is rat. Okay, and you get the at boar, and the boar is a form of Set, who is against horse. Okay, but nonetheless, he resembles quite a few Jews in a lot of ways, right? And so it helps you understand why it's preposterous to think that the Bible is literal, and it's preposterous to think that they're chosen and magically I'm not. So if you notice in the picture that I use of me, quite often they add pink or something to their extreme disgrace, very immature. And it also is a character that's like Borat, right? Where it's this senseless person who's not reasonable, who's not logical. No matter how much you teach, people like that tend to not ever understand truth. You could explore morality with them every day, in a synagogue, in a church, in a mosque, wherever, and they wouldn't understand. Okay, that tends to be the general rule of thumb. That's my experience. The people I talk to, including Jews, they say that that's their experience as well. So I cut out the head of the picture, okay, and I didn't make another picture because they edit the pictures, so it kind of helps you see the shape. Don't mistake that for an English person standing upright or something. We're going to get to that in the next video. When I compare myself to Prince Harry, you'll see that that's not a logical assumption. It has to do with the lifestyle, it has to do with the belief, the purity. Okay, you see how this connects to Malachi 2:15, for instance, where it says, "Has not the one God made you? You belong to him, body and spirit. And what does the one God seek? Godly offspring. So be on your guard and do not be unfaithful." So that's Malachi 2:15 or so. So God seeks godly offspring, not contemptible, foolish, nerdy idiots, not goofs, not arrogant liars, not mass murderers, not people who play political games and propaganda games, not people doing gimmicks instead of living truth. Also, the sword that I used in the picture is not necessarily the ideal sword for me or something, but something I could obviously use very effectively and beat anybody with any hand-to-hand combat weapon with it. But it represents kind of surgical strikes and refined kind of strikes in a certain way. Not all surgical strikes, but certain types, slicing motions and certain stabbing motions, what have you. And that also is symbolic of the mind, body, soul, and spirit, right? So you see in Malachi, it said that, you belong to God, body and spirit. So what is your body and what is your spirit? Are you foolish and contemptible? Are you nerdy with a nerdy spirit? You think that's the spirit of God? The kingdom of heaven is not a matter of talk or nerdy scientific talk or being nerdy. It's a matter of spiritual power and being persecuted, okay, for having that spiritual power when people are far too immature to leave you alone, which we see is the case here in America. Okay, and we see it in every nation in the world, but it's particularly obvious here in America. Borat also reminds us why the nerd and the scientist don't know what they're doing, right? They just serve the state. Nerds have been described as worthless and foolish and contemptible in various dictionaries. Boringly studious, right? They don't understand life. That's why it's called book smart and not life smart. You wouldn't go to Einstein for life advice, right? The person is just a nerd. And that's key there.